Well, 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 we've made it inside of Toolcraft today. I jumped into Seattle and said, you know what, I gotta go see my buddy Mitch. Mitch was nice enough to let us come in and share a little bit of his factory with you guys so you can see what's going on since 1990, I believe, right, and what the growth has been like. He even brings like elementary, third grade kids into this facility, but we'll get into that in just a minute. Mitch, thank you so much for allowing me to step in here.
Yep. Thanks for having us, Tony. We're glad to have you, Tony.
I appreciate that. We're currently in an area, looks like people are, well, obviously measuring some things, right?
Yep. This is our final inspection department. This is where parts get checked before they go out the door.
And sometimes we like to start at the end and then take them to the beginning. So even though it's final inspection, and we have this room, the direction we're gonna head, and let's go ahead and start walking, is the automation side of things. We're going to talk about your story. So how many machines do you have here currently?
So we have 20 CNCs, 7 lathes, 7 small lathes, 1 medium-sized lathe, and the rest are mills.
Wow. I see you've already set up automation, and in my probably pretty biased opinion, if I'm going to be honest, when I have a 3-axis machine, if people are still loading and unloading everything by hand, running just one operation, then switching to a second operation, maybe not utilizing a trunnion, not utilizing some of the 0-point bases, not utilizing cobots like you've got right here, we're really just not utilizing the overall 3-axis machine in modern manufacturing. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, we have a few different modes of automation. This is one of them. It's quite adaptable. It's not perfect for everything, but it does a really, really good job for what we use it for. It's just one of the options we have.
Yeah, I mean, cobots, collaborative robots, are supposed to work with us, right?
Yep.
And as we continue to walk, would you also agree, or maybe you'll disagree with me, although I think we have a lot in common, would you agree that cobots and robots are removing the dull, dirty, and dangerous out of our lives, the monotonous and the boring, and making more productivity and allowing people to get back to the creative things in their lives as well, and they're not taking jobs like some people worry about?
Yeah, so the cobots for us, they do the worst jobs. I mean, we're talking like loading one part at a time for hours on end, days on end, and nobody likes doing that. Those cobots, they'll just keep loading the parts throughout the night, and the folks that are setting up the cobots and working with them really enjoy that side of things because it's new skills for them.
Yeah, this is a very important component to add to the conversation. Thank you for doing that. As we talk more about your company, 1990, right? Yep. You're a young man, but according to your dad, you started when you were 3 years old running around this place.
Something like that.
And you look like you're only about 25, 21 right now, but I have a feeling you're not.
No. And
you've seen the growth of this company since the 90s as well. What do you guys work on? Why do you stick in those areas? Because I believe it's about 80% aerospace, but I want you to define what aerospace means as well, and why you like these areas and how you help the customers out there, maybe those you're currently working with and those you might want to work with moving forward as well who watch this video.
Yeah, so we focus on small parts. Our machines are small, our inspection equipment is small, and so we specialize in that niche. It's mostly aerospace because what we found, especially being in America in a relatively high cost environment, we focus on high requirement parts. So a lot of times we need to be aerospace certified. We are aerospace certified. So a lot of our work tends to be in that realm, whether it's aerospace or whether it's medical. Inside aerospace, we have defense, what we call commercial aerospace, so like airplane parts, and then also space parts, so like satellites, rocket parts, stuff like that, where the requirements are just simply higher. You can't just buy any material. You have to buy specific material. You have to have it tested at an ADCAP house instead of just a typical house. You have to have full traceability throughout the whole process, and we can maintain that. You have to have a high level of inspection. So whether that means just for a first article documented inspection, or whether it means more robust inspection like a PPAP process, SPC controls, things like that, we gear ourselves up to be able to meet all those requirements. And those requirements are really meaningful for those industries.
You know, it's continuing to walk. I have a quick story. I've actually been into some of the largest aerospace companies in the world, but usually like the tier 1 area, right? Where it's the shell of it. And they often make little jokes about, our tolerances are not that tight, and I'm not even sure if I want to fly in a plane. But when you get to the small stuff like what you're talking about, how important is the reliability of being able to repeat a process at high precision with what you do?
Yeah, so it's critical. It really is critical because for us, a lot of our processes aren't just meeting print tolerance, it's also meeting the requirements for process repeatability, which is even tighter than print. And so for us, if the tolerance is say 5 thou, we're really targeting the middle 1 thou or maybe even middle 5/10 for repeatability of the process. So for us, high tolerance, repeatability of tolerance is critical.
So as I'm walking around, this is a little bit of a segue for the audience. For everyone watching, have you noticed when you look around this shop how young most of the people are, or am I just getting old? I'm not sure what's happening. Maybe a combination of the both, but do you notice how young people are? Are you doing anything special to bring people through your system to get people in on this labor shortage that so many people are complaining about?
Yeah, so we embrace youth. We hire a lot of folks that start in high school. A lot of times they start part-time, and then they have apprenticeship options that we present to them. If they don't want to be an official apprentice, they might work their way through different departments here. And we believe that a youth movement, not only does it keep us fresh, it also allows us to kind of give back to the community in some ways, because some of these workers will work through high school, work through college, and then go on to their career. And we're able to give them some exposure to the working world while they're in school.
Mitch, that's incredible. Let's continue to walk. Is it true? I think I heard a rumor. It's true that you even had some third graders coming through here and you give them like little gifts, you know, doing some laser engraving or something like that. Are you even bringing third graders through here?
Yeah, so that was a joke.
I went to parks at a zoo, by the way, when I was in third grade.
Yeah, so it was just an exposure to manufacturing was what that was. So we embrace school tours, exposing some of these kids to the world of manufacturing.
Well, thank you for doing that, first of all. We're going to go ahead, I think, more or less and end this tour right over here. I mean, and what better than looking at the Citizen machines in order to do that? Yeah. I know this is some of your bread and butter. I know that you have great relationships with the folks who sell this. I mean, Spinetti is second to none when it comes to customer service. As we start to close out this conversation, we talk about, you know, the average age here being so young. We talk about your critical components in aerospace. We talk about the legacy of the company being around from the 90s. I kind of like to pull on your heartstrings a little bit, if you let me, please, sure. If you let me. And just let me know what manufacturing means to you, because there's still this stereotype out there, and you look like a young man, but there's a stereotype out there of, you know, my son or my daughter is a doctor. My son or my daughter, they're in law school. We make everything on this planet, and I know it matters to you as well to kind of convey these messages. Speaking with your father, who's been doing it for a while, he and I have some similarities where we could look at a board and go, I don't get it. Then we touch a machine and go, now I get it, right? This hands-on type of thing. And it doesn't, you know, one of my favorite quotes actually is, you know, if you judge a fish by how it can climb a tree, you'll think it's an idiot. You know, and I think it's important to understand we all learn differently. So what does manufacturing mean to you since you started running around this place in diapers, right? And now you are the grown man that is helping support the continued legacy of your father's shop.
Yeah, so manufacturing is all I know, of course, but it's not just, you know, manual machining, turning handles, like greasy, dirty. It means like high-tech equipment, working with high-tech equipment, programming that equipment. It might be working on that equipment. It might be inspecting the parts that we make on these machines. There's all these different roles within manufacturing that are all critical to really building some of the really incredible machines that our customers are building and some of the new technology that our customers are creating. And so for us to be part of that, what is a much larger mission, is really quite important to us.
But thank you so much for having us in. Where can someone, if they want to know more about you and the company, where can they find you? What is your website? Do you have social media as well where people can tune in and learn more?
Yeah, so our website is tcprecision.com. And there you can find our equipment list. You can find some of the parts that we specialize in and more about our company.
Absolutely, ttprecision.com. There you have it, folks. This is Toolcraft. This is my brother, Mitch. Thank you all for watching. We absolutely appreciate your time. What a great shop. Thank you so much for allowing us to come in, brother.
I appreciate it.